So the Pacers added veterans Tyreke Evans and Doug McDermott to help take some of that scoring load off of Oladipo. And their first-round pick, Aaron Holiday, impressed during the Vegas Summer League. The rest of the major players return, including underrated point guard Darren Collison. We've moved over now to the court, and you guys have some good ideas about the pick and pop when it comes to Myles Turner. What are you thinking?
Well, I'm going to let Derek Harper start off with
Well, pick and pop, pick and roll, whatever you want to do. It depends on the two players. But I think the key when you start talking about pick and roll basketball, I think it's important that both guys are offensive-minded guys. Take, for example, a guy like Oladipo, you put him in the pick and roll with a guy like Myles Turner. Myles is a great pick and pop guy, but I think you want to make the point that if he could get into more of a rhythm pick and roll, mixing it up as far as the pick and roll is concerned,
Yeah,
he'll
Harper,
be
I'm
better
going to have you out there where you were very comfortable as a point guard. Ali, you want to guard Harper? You got to guard Harper. I want to just show you.
It's a good time to get me,
Have
Ali.
you seen my foot speed? Have you seen my foot
This
speed?
is a good time to get
Ali,
me.
don't follow him too hard. And I love Myles Turner. He does a good job because a lot of times you want to get out here and set a pick. Harp comes off, and you can see the pick. I set a
You
pick
want me to
on
go over or
Allen.
under?
And no, you can say that.
I like it, Al. I like
When you
it.
fade here, they do a good job. He throws it Oladipo or Darren Collison, and he knocks down shots, right? But when you really want to take advantage of Myles Turner, it's because of his size, Derek, and his athleticism.
Probably best if we go on the side pick and roll.
Let's go on the side pick and roll. So you got to go over there.
All right,
you got to
cool.
play some defense. I know you got your heels on.
I'm feeling lazy
9-inch
today.
heels. So I'm going to come set this
I'm
pick.
playing NBA defense right
So
there.
if I
No, I'm
hit the
just kidding.
pick right here, and if I roll and Harp hits me with a nice pass, Myles Turner has to be so aggressive, I think, in my opinion, because of his athleticism,
Yes, sir.
where if he's not dunking this, if he's not scoring, he's getting fouled and he's getting to that free throw line. When you talked about how he gets to the free throw line so less frequently than most people, with his size, you're going to miss or make, and you're not getting to that free throw line hard.
And having the ability to do both is when you go to a different level in the pick and roll situation. If you're just going to be a pick and pop guy, defenses know that. As much scouting that goes on in this league, they know that all you're going to do is that. So if you mix things up, obviously you're going to be a little bit more effective as an offensive player.
Well, and I think, too, Myles Turner needs to get more comfortable just triggering, the three from right off the screen because, I mean, he's a mid-range guy. He's so much more comfortable there. His numbers are better in the mid-range. So you said when you go to the basket, be confident. I think we need to see that same confidence from him on the three-point line. That'll come with more reps.
And I just think when you have that type of size, when he rolls in a pick and roll, he's one step, not even one dribble. He's one step into the basket. And usually guys got to run because the spacing right now, hard to come be over to take a charge. You're going to be too late. You pretty much got to foul him.
He's a pretty talented kid. I mean, it's not beat up Myles. It's not what we're trying to do. But for the Pacers to go to that next level, I think it's important that he improves.
I have a lot of confidence in
some of the areas.
Yeah, we're saying you have a lot of potential. We wouldn't be tearing him up like this if we didn't think
that
he could be
yoga
great.
don't get him right, though. Let me see if I downward dog.
I've been playing.
All right, coming up on that note, we're going to hear from the starters as they play another round of True or False. Oh, make it. Because you had that good spin on it.
It took 4 years, 3 months, 2 weeks, and a Sunday for you to love me Monday. All it took was one day for me to love you.
Well, Victor Oladipo is quite the elite talent as he displayed in June during the NBA award show on TNT. Now, is Indiana an elite team? The starters break it down.
Trey Kirby and Taz Mellis of the starters here for your next Indiana Pacers point. A little true or false for you. True or false, Trey? The Indiana Pacers are an elite Eastern Conference team.
I'm going to say false for now. I've been wrong about the Pacers before, but a couple of things need to happen before I'll buy them as an Eastern Conference elite team. First of all, Victor Oladipo has to be for real. Remade his body last year, took the league by storm, scored 24 a game, shooting 48% and 38% from three before the All-Star game. After the All-Star game, though, came back down to earth a little bit, 20 points per game on 46% shooting and 34 from three. That, to me, seems like he's probably getting tired because he was carrying basically a Russell Westbrook-style load for the Pacers last year, which is why the second thing that needs to happen to me is that Myles Turner really needs to take that next step. His progress kind of stalled out a little bit last year. He was battling some injuries. I think we need to see Miles Turner take a little bit more control of the offense, kind of have a little bit bigger role, and give Oladipo a little bit of a break so that there could be two big-time options there in Indiana so that Victor Oladipo doesn't have to do everything. Tyreke Evans performing well would be a huge help. There are a couple of ways that the Pacers can get there, but until we see it, I'm not going to buy it.
I do believe. I think you can throw him up there because I do believe in Victor Oladipo. I think last year was his first year as a #1 guy. I think he's learned how to be that guy. He's learned how to preserve his body. He was on the phone after Game 7, losing to the Cleveland Cavaliers with his trainer, and he said, hey, let's do this. Let's get back in the gym. There's a great write-up on The Athletic about that. And Victor Oladipo knows that he has to take it to another level. So I do believe after 1 year, year 2 will be better for him. He got cut. Miles Turner, watch Victor Oladipo get cut, and he's doing the same thing. And I do believe that Miles Turner,
Fitzpo,
was a guy. The first couple of years of his career, we thought, I mean, this guy is a modern-day big. He should be that. He should be that guy. In the third year, he had some injury problems. He was not elite, but I think he's going to follow in Victor Oladipo's footsteps to some degree. But you're right. You need a second guy. If you look at the Eastern Conference elite teams, the Boston Celtics have far more than 2 elite guys. The Raptors have Kawhi and Kyle, Simmons and Embiid for Philly. So, yes, I think 48 wins for the Pacers last year. I think it's easy to sort of overlook that number. That's a very good number. I think they can grow, and Tyreke Evans taking some pressure off of both those guys will help that. They didn't really have another ball handler outside of Victor Oladipo last year.
Yeah, big-time prove-it season for me for Miles Turner. Let's hope that Oladipo and him can actually be a solid duo coming into the season.
All right, that is it for us. More on the Indiana Pacers coming up. And if you want more of the starters, check us out weeknights throughout the entire NBA season here on NBA TV.
All right, we'll be back to wrap things up and take a look at the Pacers' projected win total for this season. Will they have more or less? We'll let you know. Although the Pacers ranked only 12th in offensive rating last season, it marked the 4th straight year in which their scoring has gone up. And at 107.2 points per 100 possessions, you have to go back to the days of, Reggie Miller to find the last time Indiana scored so well. Now, the biggest reason for the improved offense, that's easy. Victor Oladipo, we've talked about him all show. The All-Star recently spoke also to Ro Paris via ArenaLink.
Team just fell short of two wins short of 50 wins, pushed the eventual Eastern Conference champions to 7 games. You guys kind of snuck up on people last season. What is the approach this season as far as how you're going to go into the season? And can you sneak up on teams again, or are you on everybody's radar now?
I'm not sure. I'm really not sure. Honestly, I really don't care if guys are sleeping on us or if we're on anybody's radar. We just focus on ourselves and focus on improving. We still feel as though we're not really respected. We don't really feel like guys are really concerned about us, which is fine. It is what it is. I can see why they might feel that way, seeing as how we only kind of played well 1 year. So we're looking forward to the challenge of this year, and just taking it one day at a time and living in the moment. We're not really focused on the past or focused on the present. We just focus on today. And if we do that one day at a time, the sky's the limit for us.
So you guys have Aaron Holiday now, also have Tyreke Evans, 2 ball handlers. How is that going to help the offense this season?
I think it'll help us a lot. Guys who can make plays with the ball. I can play a little off the ball and stuff like that as well. And we'll see how it works, and I'm looking forward to the challenge of playing on and off the ball. So it's going to be great, man. I think those guys will fit just fine and just perfect, and I think the sky's the limit for us if we just, like I said, take it one day at a time and keep getting better.
With LeBron James going to the Western Conference, it appears to be that the NBA Eastern Conference is wide open. What is it going to take for the Indiana Pacers to be on top of the conference at the end of the season?
Not trying to compare and contrast what we did last year to this year. I think we should, like I said, need to focus on taking it one day at a time like we did last year, and just focus on each other and focus on improving. It's a season, so there's going to be some ups and some downs, but we just have to maintain our level of confidence and our level of belief in each other, and if we continue to do that, then I think we'll be just fine.
You talked about improving. Now, we all know about your off-season rituals, how you changed things up last postseason, got all ripped up and whatnot. What about this past off-season? What specifically did you work on, and what can we look forward to seeing in your game this season?
I think the biggest thing is just working on my mentality and my mental and working on that just as much as I work on my body and taking my mental to another level. So I think I've improved in that category, and I'm looking forward to kind of showcasing it, I guess you can say, this season.
Well, we're back on the court. Guys, before we wrap up, he said it himself, his mentality is the biggest difference. You can sense the calm and the confidence that he has. He's finally gotten to a point where he's really ready to go and feels like the leader all around on this team.
I look at Harper Alley. He doesn't look satisfied.
Right.
Even though he made his first
Not
All-Star appearance. He was the best player on Indiana Pacers. He scored a lot. He had his best year. But just looking at the interview, it looked like he's not satisfied. He wants more, and I'm not talking about individually. I think he wants more as far as winning, getting to that next chapter for the Indiana
I would
Pacers.
concur with you on that, Steve. You look at this team. They got better by adding a guy like Tyreke Evans to me as a basketball team. They can score. They like playing together. They defend for the most part as a basketball team. And, you couple those things together, and I think the Pacers, one of those teams that people don't want to see in the first round of a playoff series.
Right. They have that toughness. It all starts with Coach McMillan. So that leads us to the question, are they tough enough? Will they be improved enough to win more or less than 47.5 games?
I have them north of 47. I have them as high as being a third team, as far as place in the Eastern Conference. I have at Boston, I have Toronto. Then I have the Indiana Pacers. So I'm going there a little bit north. I think it'll be closer to 50 wins.
I think they will be too, Steve. I like, you talked about the coaching. That's very important. I like the Pacers. A lot of good things about the Pacers, but have a good mix of young and veteran players that's been there and done that, so to speak. I look for them to jump a little bit in the Eastern Conference. It's wide open.
I'm going more as well, and a lot of people don't realize 10 out of the 18 guys that were at Media Day this week, they are not guaranteed for contract next season.
Oh, so
Hungry.
They got something to play for.
They got something to play for. And we all know.
You went right to the money.
Right to the money, baby. That's what it's all about once you get to that level. But I also think, that can go one of two ways. You either start playing selfishly to get your numbers up for your contract year, but not this team. McMillan won't allow that.
Nate got them right. They're going to be all right.
Yep, they got it just right. Well, this has been fun, you guys. For D. Harper, for Smitty, I'm Allie LaFleur.